Does everybody have a glass of wine? Let's start there. You
So
represent.
I wanted to show you
You
my
got the whole bottle.
Hi, it's Valletta,
Hi, it's Michelle.
and welcome to the Wind Down. Today we're interviewing our friend Lucy Coutinho, who is the author of Sand and Sea and Pieces of Freedom.
Wonderful books. Wonderful books.
So let me just first say that anyone that has this dedication talking about their mother, first off, with the gratitude that you have for her because she engages your warrior spirit. First of all, when you started off like that, you had me there.
What I love about the books is that they're relatable, you know, like I was reading and I was like, I recognize that. I recognize that too. Like we all go through some form of, especially in the Pieces of Freedom, everything you've named. We've all experienced it, whether we want to admit it or not. And I like that you put it out there, you know. These things are people are maybe embarrassed to talk about or don't want to admit to themselves, but I'm glad that you like have the courage, because it really takes courage to do that.
Courage, exactly.
And you just laid it out, and I thought it was beautifully done.
So Lucy, let me ask you, so what was the motivation behind writing your books?
So I'll start,
Go ahead.
I'll start with Pieces of Freedom because just to jump off of what Michelle said. That's precisely why, because I felt that you know, a lot of other women experience the same feelings that I was experiencing, you know, and that was actually pieces from my personal journal. So everything that you read in there was a journal entry and something that I wanted to share publicly. So was it scary? Absolutely. It was so scary. It was so vulnerable, and I felt so naked, you know. But I felt like the message and the mission was bigger than me. And that's why I had to put it out there, because I wanted whatever it is that I was going through, I wanted it to help someone else. I was hoping that it would resonate. And you know, if you're going through these things, how do you come out of these situations, or how do you even cope with them, right? So, and I also interviewed 12 women within the book as well. So as you can see, it starts off with my entry, and then it kind of spirals into their entries as well. So it was such a collaborative project. I had so many women involved in it. It wasn't just, it's not for me, you know. I didn't write it for me, and that's why that book is really special for me.
I love how you also invited your audience to journal as well. So as you're reading these chapters, and if it sparks something in you and you wanted to take that leap, and I just love that, because you just brought us all in there and saying, look, I can do this, write it down. You know, I understand that it's hard. I understand that you have fear, but here, let's start together, which was wonderful. I love that.
But I want to know from you, how long did it take you to write each book?
So the first one, Pieces of Freedom, took about, from beginning to publishing, it took about 6 years. Only because, you know, I started it. Yeah, it took a long time, not because of the process, but because of picking it up, putting it down, and also trying to figure out what it was even going to be. Like, it was like a beautiful accident, you know. I had you know, I dedicated a whole year to my journal entry and sharing it. And then something sparked in me. I think it was a friend of mine who had said, why don't you turn this into a book? And so a light bulb went on, and it was like, wow, you know, I can actually turn this into a book. So with that, I decided to do that, and from there it was a whole process. Okay, so now I really have to take the writing seriously, and also how do I format this book? What do I want it to look like? So that process took a while, and even not understanding and knowing that I could self-publish my own book. And when I understood that, it was just like, okay, I can definitely do this. So I self-published it. It was released in June of 2016. So I started it from 2010 to 2016. So
That's
that was
cool. I wonder what kind of obstacles you encountered at the beginning of your journey, because once your mind is set to like, I think I'm gonna take a left down here and do something completely different, then
There's
all of a sudden you get like
these obstacles. Yes.
like boulders coming your road. Like, what kind of things did you experience once you started the journey? Once your mind shifted to, okay, we're doing this. Let's do this.
Yeah. So the writing process was liberating. I mean, it was healing for me, to say the very least. Like I had just turned 30 years old. It was a very pivotal time in my life, trying to figure out, okay, really, I'm becoming a woman. Who is it that I want to be? How do I want to show up in the world? How do I want to represent myself? What kind of example do I want to set for my children? Like all these questions. It was a lot of pressure. Like all these questions started coming to me, and so writing was helpful, and it was so healing. And so that part was very enjoyable because I needed it. I think the challenging part was finding time to actually do it, because I had worked full time. I was working at Viacom, which was very demanding. I was, working late hours and just crazy schedule. But a blessing happened. I got laid off. And then I said, wow, I have the time now. So I decided to go and visit, the book again. And I said, well, it's written already. It just needs a little tweaking. And that's when I finalized it, got an editor, and started getting the process really rolling. So the blessing came with just having time, finding time really was the challenge.
So you got healing from the book. What
I got healing
is your wish for other women that read the book?
I want them to get healing from the book. I want them to find themselves in the book. I want them to.
That part's easy.
Yeah, and I've
because it speaks to us all.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
it's that journey. It's that constant journey of making sure, again, those voices in our head do not stop us from becoming who we are supposed to be, because we have that. It's the noise. And if you feed into that, you will stay stuck in that place and always saying, I wish I should have, could have. And you're not putting that one foot in front of the other. And so that is what, for me, I got a lot of just move forward. You can do it. This has been my struggle, but if I can do it, you can do it. Here, I'm giving you the platform and helping you write it down, journal it, That's what was just really special to me.
In this second book, I wanted to get into Sand and Sea. Was a complete accident too. Sand and Sea is a book of poetry. It's something that, I've dived into poetry a lot, but hadn't really, written that many pieces to say, I can compile all this into a book. So it was it actually, a book started, I started writing co-writing a book with a male author on relationships. So it was supposed to be like maybe 10 chapters, just, describing different types of relationships, intimate relationships. And I decided to scrap that entire project. I didn't want to go through with it. But I knew I wanted to write another book. So I sat down and tried, I was thinking about it. I'm like, poetry, write poetry here and there. And, you know, as you know, during the pandemic, we had all the time in the world. And so,
No, we didn't.
well, so what do you do with the time? And I really utilized my time. I said, you know what, I'm just going to write this book. I'm going to,
that's great,
you know, compile some of the pieces that I have and write new pieces. And it formed into Sand and Sea. And I just published it a month ago, and it's been doing awesome. I created a beautiful care package for women, and it, you know,
really, what's in it?
So it comes with the book. It comes with the mug, which I have here, and it comes with a tote bag, and that does really well. You know, the tote bag has an affirmational quote on there too. So
where'd you come up with the name, Lucy? So for that,
Sand and Sea, that's a really great question. So I wanted it to be really meaningful. I had, you know, I tested different names, but sand means sand meaning you know, just thinking about life, and sea, your inner emotions. So, and it has a deep spiritual meaning. And I looked it up. I thought about it long and hard. And also, I was born on the island of Cape Verde. So my heart and my spirit is very well planted in the whole island vibe, and so that, and it just spoke to me. And just, you know, looking up the meaning of Sand and Sea, you know, it was like, I was like, that's it. That's the title of the book.
So where can we get your book, or where can people get, we have your book, where can people get your book?
Yeah, so they are available on Amazon.
Okay.
Currently now I'm trying to distribute it to, you know, other places, but currently now there. But Sand and Sea, I've been getting a lot of personal orders. You can email me at LUCE. It's LUCEinspiration@gmail.
Okay.
And, email me there and place your orders if you want a signed copy, because obviously if you order it on Amazon, it won't be signed. And I do want to make it personal to everyone that has the book.
That's sweet. I love that.
So we'll make sure we put all of that in our
for sure it'll be in the comment section.
So that we can.
I love you.
It was so wonderful having you. It was wonderful. Really, really. Congratulations, Lucy.
Seriously, congratulations. Cheers. We'll cheers you. We'll toast you.
Cheers.